We are now privileged to hear a presentation by Dr. William Tiller, who's a very popular Stanford scientist, and who has spent most of his career scientifically validating the phenomenon of intention and intuition, which of course are the centerpiece of these tapes. Dr. Tiller's presentation is necessarily technical. They might even use a few terms that would be unfamiliar to many. That's okay. His presentation is quite clear and serves to punctuate the very important subjects that we are exploring within these tapes. Here's Dr. Tiller. Can we have a hand for Dr. William Tiller? I say, can we have a hand for Dr. William Tiller? So popular, Bill.
Oh, what an awesome group. Part, which illustrates how powerful mindset is. And many of you will know about these experiments done in the 30s by Slater, so forgive me if I repeat them for the others. Slater built these glasses called upside-down glasses, which are made of a combination of lenses and prisms tied together, and so that when you put them on, you see everything upside down. And he took 10 or a dozen individuals and asked them to do this. And of course, that's a very destabilizing thing to see people sort of hanging upside down on what should be the ceiling. But he asked them to stay with it and keep wearing the glasses. And they did, albeit with some difficulty. And somewhere between 2 and 3 weeks, one after the other, suddenly there was a flip. With the glasses on, they saw everything right side up. And if they took the glasses off at that point, flip, they'd see everything upside down again. And they'd have to wait another 2 or 3 weeks before, flip, things would go back to normal and they'd see everything right side up. Well, I think that's a remarkable observation, one that should be taught to children in grade school, because it says our mindset and belief system is so strong that it creates a force acting on the neural dendrite system, causing them to grow in such a direction as to build an inversion lens in there, or prism. I don't know what the geometry is, but the body does it. And I think we do this all the time. And of course, these days people are dealing with neural learning to try to get around various difficulties, taking advantage of that. But we're amazingly adaptive creatures. Okay, our bio-body suits are. And this is how we build structure into our bio-body suits. All right? And this is why the jail is so difficult for us to get out of, because we're building the bars by our belief structure. Now, the final example on this, which I found interesting, goes back to something that Darwin wrote about in his diary. When he sailed his sailing ship, the Beagle, into the harbor at Patagonia, and the Patagonians were on the shore, and they could certainly see everything that was in the harbor, but they couldn't see his sailing vessel. Pretty strange. The shaman was there, and he could see the vessel. I presume he had more elevated consciousness. And so he spent some days, some time talking to them, explaining this piece was like that in their experience, and that piece was like that in their experience, and this piece was like something else in their experience. And after doing this for a while, suddenly the Beagle just faded into view, and they saw the Beagle. Okay? So it says on this path of cognitive development for us, we need building blocks that have meaning for us. See, it's meaning that we deal with. All right? In order to understand something, we have to translate it into a meaning and a framework. So if we want to do movement in new domains of cognition, we have to lay a foundation. We have to build some structures, some little building blocks or toy blocks or something. The same kind of thing we do with children. We put them on the floor and we give them these blocks and we say, go ahead, assemble something. And in the act of trying to assemble some things, they gain cognitive development within themselves, as most of you know, and they build something. Well, I think that's the way it is for us with respect to these other domains.